Obviously, we recognize the issues, particularly with respect to inflation and the increasing cost of living, which was a direct result of what happened during COVID. And so some of those legacy issues of price rise and inflation have continued because a lot of the prices of imported items is reflected in what happens in the international markets, particularly oil prices. So that issue is there. If you notice what we did in the budget, we did not touch the income tax threshold for people earning below 30,000 because we recognize that if we did, that will affect people's disposable income. So obviously we haven't done that. The other important thing that people, that the statistics is showing, and that is quite pleasing, is that the average salaries and wages have increased by 25% in the last 8 to 9 months. Now that shows that that shows two things. One, that the economy is growing, and this year it's projected to grow at 8%, and correspondingly salaries and wages are increasing. So that will also push inflation a little bit, but in a sense, the good news is that while we have challenges of losing people, so some of it is replacement, but some of it is coming through increased growth, and therefore increased growth demands increased labor availability. Demand for labor is going up, and therefore the wages and salaries are going up. The tourism industry is back to normal and more than the growth that we had in 2019. So a lot of jobs are being created, and these are good, well-paid jobs. So people are also shifting away from particularly areas such as the Central Division and others, and trying to get a job in the tourism sector. So that creates vacancies, demand for labor. So overall, the salaries and wages has increased by 25%, and that's good. That is cushioning the impact of whatever inflation that we are seeing as a result of not only global forces, but as a result of a growing economy as well. So in a sense, the budget recognized that very well. We made sure that whatever additional revenue that we were getting or are getting, we have carefully put that into sectors where we can support the most vulnerable. So we have increased social welfare by 15 and 25%. We have increased family assistance, child allowances. We have increased kidney dialysis subsidies. We have increased health budget. We've increased agriculture budget. We've provided additional subsidies for farmers outside of the sugar industry, such as dalo, ginger, cassava, and rice. So fertilizer and weedicide will be subsidized to support the growth of the resource-based sectors. We took away $650 million of debt burden on 53,000 families. Now all those families, all those young men and women who had come out of the universities and were working and were paying debt on a monthly basis, that income is now part of the household disposable income. So a lot of these measures that we put in were designed to cushion any adverse impact of the price rise or dent in the disposable income. So in fact, we have nicely balanced, and I think the critics tend to ignore, people like Savinada Narube, who said nothing has been done, have probably not studied the provisions in the budget carefully to see how we have, balanced the budget in terms of making provisions which will mitigate some of these issues. And, it's unfortunate that, we are going through, global crisis such as the war in the Middle East now, how that is going to end, and how that's going to play out in the global market, in terms of commodity prices, in terms of oil prices, I think will determine how things will be in the next 1 or 2 years. But certainly this year, growth is very, very positive. 8% growth forecast is good. There are other very positive indicators. Remittances are holding on very well. We expect about $1.2, $1.3 billion this year. That itself is fueling consumption. So demand for goods and services, when the demand for goods and services goes up, prices also go up. So, when you have growth in the economy, when you have a lot of money in the economy, you can expect, prices to also rise. Inflationary pressures will come with it. That's basic economics. So, I think as a government, we have carefully considered all these options and provided avenues to cushion any adverse impact of additional inflationary pressures that we will put in the economy.
So just one final question, how has the first quarter been in terms of revenue collections?
Very good, very good. In fact, because the economy is growing, the tourism sector is very, is booming. There are other sectors such as investment lending, housing market. Resource sectors are a bit down, but we expect it to pick up, as some of the provisions in the budget take effect.
Any dollar figure you'd like to give? Any dollar figure you'd like to give in terms of revenue collection?
I can't give you an exact figure, but we will be releasing some of those pretty soon.
Thank you, sir.